everybody. It's in the evening, but I wanted to read a little bit from Genesis for Lent every day. I want to read a little bit Old Testament and New Testament from my Bible sketchbook. Yesterday we talked about Abram, Tower of Babel, and then Abraham, and I don't know what happened between Tower of Babel and Babel and Abraham. So I opened up the Bible, said from Shem to Abraham. So Shem is one of Noah's sons, and the Semites or Jewish people came from Shem. So went from Shem to Abraham. This is the account of Shem's family line. 2 years after the flood, when Noah was 100 years old, he became the father of Arphaxad. And then Shem had other sons: Shelah, Eber, Peleg, Reu had other sons and daughters: Serug, Nahor. I'm sorry, guys. Terah, and then Terah had lived 70 years. He became the father of Abraham, Nahor, and Haran. So, and Terah became the father of Abraham. So the call of Abraham, and then the Lord said to Abraham, "Go from your country and your people." And he came from Terah's family. And that is where we will start now, studying the Bible together. So here's my Genesis sketchbook. Let me know if you want one. And I drew pictures. The last 12 years I've been out of California, so I've been reading the Bible and drawing the pictures. And here's Abraham leaving. There's my family playing Madden, so you might hear yelling every once in a while. So Abraham leaves, moves around, and goes to Bethel, and then he calls on the name of God. Then page 34. Now Lot, Abram's nephew, was moving about with Abram, also had flocks and fields and tents. But the land could not support them while they stayed together, for their possessions were so great that they were not able to stay together. And quarreling arose between Abram's herders and Lot's. The Canaanites and Perizzites were also living in the land at that time. So here's the land. I can't support them. There's Lot and Abram, herds, flocks, tents, possessions, silver and gold, livestock, and the Canaanites and the Perizzites. And the land can't support them. So there was quarreling between herders. Hey, knock it off. You knock it off. So Abraham and his nephew Lot are moving around, and the land can't support them, and they're starting to fight. The herders are starting to fight. So let's move to page 35. And okay, can you wait? So Abram has said to Lot, "Is not the whole land before you? Please separate from me. If you take the left, then I will go to the right, or if you go to the right, then I will go to the left." Genesis 13:9. So Abram says, "Hey, you go to the left and I'll go to the right, or you go to the right and I'll go to the left. This land is too small for us." Then Lot chose for himself all the plain of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated from each other. Abram dwelt in the land of Canaan, left to go to Canaan. Bye. So Abram went that way to Canaan, and Lot left to go east to Jordan and Sodom. So Abraham went one way, and while Lot lived among the cities of the plain and pitched his tents near Sodom. Now the people of Jordan Sodom were wicked and were sinning greatly against the Lord. So people in Sodom, where Lot lives, nephew Lot, were sinning greatly against the Lord. So let's read that one more time and look at the pictures. Abraham said to Lot, "You go left and I'll go right. If you go right, I'll go left." And Abraham left and went to Canaan, and Lot went to the plain of Jordan, and they separated from each other. And something about this tree, I don't know what the name of that tree is, but Lot lived among the cities of the plains and pitched his tent near Sodom, and the people of Sodom were wicked and sinful. Genesis 13:14, and we're at page 36. The Lord said to Abram after Lot had departed from him, "Look around from where you are, to the north and south, to the east and west. All the land that you see I will give to you and your offspring forever. I will make your offspring like the dust of the earth, so that if anyone could count dust, then your offspring could be counted. So look around you, I will give you all the land. Go this way, look this way, this way, this way. I will give you the land. Your offspring will be like the dust of the earth, little pieces of dust or dirt. If anyone could count the dust, your offspring could be counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't think anybody could count that. And that's page 36. So God tells Abraham, look around you, I will give you all this land. And your offspring will be like the dust of the earth. You'll have so many offspring, so many descendants. So let's move on to page 37. And Genesis 13:17. Go walk through the length and breadth of the land, for I am giving it to you. Length, breadth, Abraham. And so Abraham went to live near the great trees of Mamre at Hebron. That sounds French. Mamre at Hebron, where he pitched his tent. There he built an altar to the Lord. So he built a little fire or sacrifice and maybe put an animal there. And set up an altar to the Lord. Then Abraham set out and continued toward the Negev. So Genesis 13:17, God said, go walk around the land, for I'm giving it to you, the length and the breadth. And he went to go live near the great trees of Mamre and pitched some tents. Pitched his tents, and he made an altar to the Lord. And he continued out towards the Negev, or Negev. Let's read a couple more. And I think somebody gets kidnapped. This is page 38 of Genesis sketchbook. Genesis 14:8. Then the king of Sodom, the king of Gomorrah, the king of Admah, the king of Zeboian, the king of Bela, marched out and drew up their battle lines in the valley of Sidon against Chedorlaomer, king of Elam, title king of Goyim, Amphraphel, king of Shinar, and Arioch, king of Eleazar. 4 kings against 5. So they went out to draw the battle line against 5 kings, and I seem to be missing 4 kings. So I gotta draw those in, or I will draw them in. Now the valley of Siddim was full of tar pits, and when the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled, some of the men fell into them, and the rest fled to the hills. So when they fled, some of the men fell into tar pits. Tar is like from the road, asphalt, black, sticky substance. So some fell into the tar pits, and the rest fled to the hills. So there's some kind of war going on between the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah, the king of Admah, the king of Zeboian, and the king of Bela marched out and drew the line in the valley of Sidon against Kedar, king of Elam, king of Goyim. So it's 4 kings against 5. So when you get a chance, draw 4 more kings here. No, 3 more kings, I believe. So sorry about that. So they draw a battle line. They're going to go into battle. Now, the valley of Sidon was full of tar pits. When the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled, some of the men fell into them, and the rest fled to the hills. So page 39. Genesis 14. The 4 kings seized all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their food. Then they went away. They also carried away Abram's nephew Lot and his possessions, since he was living in Sodom. So they seized Lot and Lot's possessions and the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah and all the food. So the 4 kings that won, I believe, over 5 kings. A man who had escaped came and reported this to Abram the Hebrew. Your nephew has been captured. I have escaped. Here's Abram the Hebrew. So Abram is like, oh no, my nephew's been captured. Genesis 14:14. When Abram heard that his relative had been taken captive, he called out the 318 trained men born in his household and went in pursuit as far as Dan, ... He recovered all the goods and brought back his nephew Lot and his possessions. So 318, I should have drawn 318 men born in the household of Abram. Come on, let's go get Lot. And Abram got Lot. We got Lot, and all his possessions were recovered. Hooray. So let's go back to Genesis 14. The 4 kings won over 5 kings, and they took Lot and Lot's possessions, goods, the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah, and all their food. So somebody came to Abram, the Hebrew, and said, your nephew has been captured. I have escaped. So Abram got 318 men born of his household and went to go get everything back. And Abraham recovered Lot, his nephew, and all his goods were recovered. We got him back. Yay. So tomorrow I will try to read this in the daytime. Oh, why don't we talk about Melchizedek? Melchizedek is a priest. And then Melchizedek brought out bread and wine. Genesis 14:18, and blessed Abraham. Blessed are you, Abraham. He was the priest of God Most High, and he blessed Abraham. Blessed be Abraham by God Most High, creator of heaven and earth, and praise be to God Most High, who delivered your enemies into your hands. So blessed be Abraham, and here he says thank you. I added that in. It's not in the Bible. But blessed be Abraham by God Most High, creator of the heaven and earth. Praise be to God Most High, who delivered Abraham's enemies into Abraham's hand. Let's do that one more time. Genesis 14:8. Then Melchizedek brought out bread and wine. Wine is made from grapes. It's a fermented drink, kind of like beer. Melchizedek brought out bread and wine and blessed Abraham. He said, blessed be Abraham by God Most High, creator of the heaven and earth. There's heaven and earth. Heaven is the clouds. Praise be to the God Most High, who delivered Abraham, your enemies into your hand. So he delivered Abraham's enemies into Abraham's hand and captured him. Genesis 14, Abram gave him a tenth of everything. So usually we give tithe and we give the church 10% of everything. So Abraham gave Melchizedek 1/10 of everything. And the king of Sodom said to Abraham, "Give me the people and keep the goods for yourself." So the king of Sodom said, "Give me the people that we've gotten back, and you keep the goods and things for yourself." So that's page 41 of Genesis sketchbook. Let's do that one more time. Genesis 14. Then Abraham gave him a tenth of everything. Here's a tenth, Melchizedek, the priest. And then the king of Sodom said to Abraham, "Give me the people, and you keep the goods for yourself." So is Abraham going to say yes or no? I'll say probably no, but let's see. Genesis 14:22. But Abraham said to the king of Sodom, "With raised hand I have sworn an oath to the Lord God Most High, creator of heaven and earth." So Abraham says, "I made an oath to the king," and he tells the king of Sodom, "that I will accept nothing belonging to you, not even a thread or a strap of a sandal, so that you will never be able to say, 'I made Abraham rich.' So I have sworn to God, I will accept nothing, not a thread." Clothes are made out of thread. Here's my clothes. Those are threads. "I will accept nothing, no thread, no sandal strap." There's some shoes or sandals, strap of a sandal. So that king of Sodom could not say, I did that. I made Abraham rich. You will never be able to say, "I made Abraham rich. I did it all by myself with God." So let's go back. Abraham made an oath to the king of Sodom. No, not to the king of Sodom. He tells the king of Sodom, "I made an oath to God." Abraham swore to God, "I will accept nothing from the king. No thread, no sandal strap," so that the king of Sodom will never say, "I made Abraham rich. I did that." So page 43, Genesis 14:24. "I will accept nothing but what my men have eaten, and the share that belongs to the men who went with me, to Aner and Shekel and Mamre. Let them have their share." So I will accept nothing except what my men ate and what their share is. I'll only take what they've eaten, Amer, Eshekol, and Mamre, and their share. Share for Amer, Eshekol, and Mamre. So he told Abraham told the king of Sodom, "I'll only take what these three fellows have eaten and their share." And they're the workers. And tomorrow we will talk about Abraham's covenant, God's covenant with Abraham, and his promise. Because God keeps his promise. Have a good night.